Good morning, parents. I'm Dr. Moira Stevenson, founder and director of Parenting with Confidence, and a clinical psychologist working with children, teens, parents, families, and young adults. Today's video, I'll be talking about helping your children deal with anxiety. And I'm going to lump into that helping your children deal with stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, all those really difficult emotions that many of us adults, children, are feeling right now. So today's video will look at two things. It will look at how you as a parent manage anxiety and stress and frustration and anger, and also how you can help your children with those things. And the reason why I want to talk about how you as parents deal with those difficult emotions is because your children are really watching you. And children learn about dealing with their emotions through watching how their attachment figures, their caregivers, deal with those situations. So how you deal with a situation, we call that modeling. So showing your child how to deal with a situation, we call that modeling. But often when we're really stressed or nervous or upset, we don't always show our children exactly what's going on inside of us, right? So let's take the example of, I'm really stressed, I'm getting really upset, so I decide to go in my room and just take a few deep breaths, right? My child doesn't necessarily know that that's exactly what I've done. And if I feel like that's an effective way to deal with stress and anxiety, maybe I should explain as I'm going through it in a natural way what I'm doing. So I'm not saying sit down and saying, when I get upset, I go in my room and I count to 10. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm saying is when you're feeling stressed, going, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to go have a break, take a few deep breaths, and I think that's going to help me feel better. So now when I go off in the room and take my few deep breaths, my child knows what I'm doing. And then I come back and I can continue to model. I can say something along the lines of, you know what, that really helped. I'm feeling a lot better right now. Maybe I've even raised my voice at my kids and I didn't mean to. Then I could say something like, feeling better right now, and now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have raised my voice. And I'm sorry about that. So here I'm really modeling what I want to see my child do when they're upset. And I'm modeling ways that I've noticed help me feel better. My child's watching that, learning. So that's why how we deal with our own stress and anxiety really impacts how our children deal with their own stressors and their anxiety. So what I've done today is I've put a list of resources for adults for managing stress and anxiety. A few things like guided meditations, some exercises, some resources, some of them made specifically for our current time dealing with this crisis that we're facing right now. Okay, so modeling your behavior to your child is one step towards helping your children cope and manage difficult feelings like stress, like anxiety, like fear. Another thing that we want to think about is how to communicate with our children in those moments. So I think the best way to learn about that is to really think about yourself when you're nervous or you're upset. Think about how you want people to communicate with you. Think about how it feels when someone says, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Or says, oh, I don't think that's how it's going to happen. I don't think that, no. So when we go to someone when we're upset and they respond to us like that, it sends a message along the lines of, I don't think you're right for being upset, and I'm not really that interested in listening to you right now. And I don't think that's the message that most parents want to send. But what happens is when we see our children, or really when we see anybody upset, it triggers fear in us, and it triggers worry in us. Worry for that person. And because we have difficulty with that emotion ourselves, we try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. It's okay, everything's okay. I'm kind of talking to my child, but maybe I'm a little bit talking to myself. What might be more helpful for your child is to lean into that, to say, that's what you think might happen, huh? Yeah. Why do you think that? What makes you think that? Okay. And now I'm there and I'm in a good spot for clarification. If it's about COVID and I'm in that space of my child, of listening, of leaning into how they feel, they're probably going to be more willing to listen to what I have to say to clarify the information. It's not about having an argument about the logic or the content of what your child is saying. It's about meeting them in an emotional place. And from there, when your child feels more calm because you're listening to them, then they might be more able to understand any clarifications that you're trying to make for the current situation or for whatever reason they're feeling nervous. So those are my main big tips for helping children deal with their anxiety. And you know what? What I've just said about helping kids deal with their anxiety by leaning in and listening, it's true for everybody. Try it with your spouse, try it with your friends. Just listening, accepting that that's their perspective on the situation, and clarifying things that you feel might be more worrisome or not clear for your child. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well.